Hello everyone, my name is Kid Lee and welcome to a Star Wars The Old Republic news update. Now here real quick before we get into the news, I wanted to briefly talk about one of the other videos that I just made. I released a video called Keith's Quote of the Day, This Is Not Happening. The intention of that video was to make fun of the trolls, and then Keith basically comes in and smashes them with his quote. For some reason, a lot of people did not understand what I was trying to do with that video, so odds are I will not do a video like that with that particular style again, because I got very little feedback on it, but the feedback that I got was just people saying that I don't understand what you're doing here. On the flip side, I showed that video to a lot of the other influencers, and they thought it was hilarious. And that's why I released it in the first place. So very mixed reviews on that style of video. So don't know if I'll ever do that again. If you guys did like it, I'd love to hear. Because like I said, from the community, I've not seen a lot of people say they liked it. But let's go ahead and move on to the news. Speaking of Keith, he continues to provide very, very interesting feedback on the forums. And he continues to really go after people who are posting a lot of negative stuff. So there was a guy who posted a couple of items talking about the gear sets and then the upcoming command rank perk that is going to allow your alts to actually level quicker. So the guy actually posted a statement saying that it should be free. We shouldn't have to pay for something that needed to be fixed so that we can use our alts. They broke it. It's the gearing system that's basically messed up, and we shouldn't have to pay for the pleasure of playing our alts. And then he says, no thanks, if the legacy perk costs anything, he wants nothing to do with it, basically. So then Keith then replied regarding the gear set that we know that's coming. There's going to be a vendor with the full T1 set. And Keith replied by saying, you'll be able to buy the full set of gear for your alts, including the set bonuses, weapons, earpieces, relics, implants, and all that with the command tokens here in a couple of weeks. This doesn't fix everything about gearing, and then it's like quotations, we'll discuss that in a couple of weeks. But consider when we used to all earn crystals just to buy high endurance gear with no set bonuses. So if we go back to what Keith was saying for a second, especially in the quotation, this doesn't fix everything about gearing. We'll discuss that in a couple of weeks. So that means to me that they are looking at making even more changes to the gearing system. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, just get rid of the RNG crate system and all this and that. I personally don't think they'll ever do that, because generally when BioWare and EA, when they put money into something like that, it's not going to go away. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe they actually are going to get rid of it because it's seen so much negative feedback. So here in a couple of weeks, it's going to be interesting to see what he means by we'll be discussing the changes to gearing in a couple of weeks. So that's some really, really cool stuff. Next up, Keith went on to talk about the new command perk, and he said, to set expectations, this 25% command rank perk is not going to be free. You don't need to buy it, but since it is a legacy-wide, it will be a one-time purchase, credit or cartel coins, and I anticipate a worthwhile investment. Now, I'm going to read that a second time because I almost wonder if there's an error in what he typed there. The fact that he hasn't fixed it makes me think no. But here, again, he says, to set expectations, this 25% command rank perk is not going to be free. You don't need to buy it. But since it is legacy-wide, it'll be a one-time purchase, credits or cartel coins. So I got to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what he's saying about it's not going to be free, you don't need to buy it. I'm not sure what he's referring to there. But then he says credit or cartel coins. So yes, we do need to buy it. So the you don't need to buy it part of this sentence I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Maybe you guys are smarter than I am, but I do not understand what he means by that. So clearly, we do have to buy this thing. Now, there's been some rumors, I guess if you want to call it that this thing is actually going to be account-wide. It appears that that is actually not going to be the case, because Keith finished this up by saying he does realize that there are people who play on multiple servers, and what he is recommending is actually what he does. He says it's actually cheaper just to go ahead and do a server transfer to actually update all of your legacies. That's what he does personally, because it's actually cheaper than some of the other methods that are actually out there. So I thought that was a really interesting quote from him. He's like, yeah, I just transfer one of my characters around on all the servers to keep all my stuff updated. And I'm like, that's actually interesting. I never really thought about doing it on a consistent basis, but, you know, whatever, I guess. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, some more words of wisdom from Keith. And I have continued to look at that statement about the buy it, don't buy it thing. I'm thinking now that it's got to be a typo. I think it's supposed to read, this 25% command rank perk is not going to be free. You do need to buy it. I think that's what it's supposed to say instead of you don't need to buy it. But like I said, if it actually is not a typo, then I have no idea what he's talking about. But yep, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That'll go ahead and do it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.